Hi friends, I'm Meenal and you are watching Meenal channel. Before we're going to start linear programming tutorial, let's try to understand what is linear programming. Actually, linear programming is a technique which is used to find out the maximum or the minimum value of a problem concerning with decision-making authorities, subject to some constraints or limitations which limit decisions. These kind of problems can also be solved with differential calculus method, but if constraints are given in inequalities in the form of inequalities, actually the calculus methods breaks down and we need linear programming. Friends, let's try to understand this with the help of example.
There are mainly three parts of any linear programming problem. First is objective function. Objective function represented by a linear function or a linear equation, and it is the objective of the problem. Generally, we represent it by z, and we have to find out its maximum or minimum value. For example, z equals to 2x plus 3y. Second part is constraints. Constraints are usually technological limitations or capacity or resource limitations. They exist primarily because resources are limited and they are in the form of equations or inequalities. For example, 4x plus 5y is equal to 10. X plus 3y is less than equals to 6, or x minus 3y is greater than equals to 1, etc. Third part is non-negativity restrictions. Means variables used in objective function can never be negative. That is, if x and y, suppose if x and y are the two variables of objective function, then the non-negativity restriction is x must be greater than or equals to 0 and y also must be greater than or equals to 0. Let's start with mathematical formation of linear programming.
Suppose a small company wants to establish two type of machines, machine A and machine B. Cost of machine A is 4,000 and cost of machine B is 3,600. Suppose he is having space capacity of 25 machines and he is having capital of 80,000 rupees capital. That means what is this? This is, we can say this is his capacity, or we can say this is his limitations, that he cannot install more than 25 machines and he cannot spend more than 80,000 rupees for purchasing A and B. Now the profit from per unit of A is 700 and profit from per unit of B is 600. What we have to calculate, it is given that we have to determine how many machines of type A and type B should be purchased to have the maximum profit. Okay, that means we have to maximize this profit. How can we? Suppose company install x1 units of A and x2 units of B. Profit from 1 unit of A is 700. Profit from x1 units of A will be 700 x1 and profit from x2 units of B will be 600 x2. So the total profit, this plus this, and we will represent this by
Z. So this is total profit, and this is our objective function is to maximize this total profit. Okay, now come to the constraints or limitations. Total, he is having space capacity of total 25 machines. If the producer is installing x1 units of A and x2 units of B, that means x1 plus x2 must be less than or equals to 25. Sorry, 25. Now he is having capital of 80,000 rupees. Cost of per unit A is 4,000. So cost of x1 units of A will be 4,000 x1 plus cost of x2 units of B will be 3,600 x2, and this must be less than or equals to 80,000. Now the last one is we have written the mathematical form of our objective function and both the constraints. Last third part is non-negativity restriction. So there are two variables in objective function, x1 and x2. So non-negativity restriction is x1 must be greater than equals to 0 and x2 must be greater than equals to 0. So this is how we write the problem in mathematical form. And for solving any linear programming problem, you have to write it first in mathematical formation. Friends, for your practice, I am giving some problems in description box. In next video, we will learn how to solve linear programming problem with graphical method and simplex method. If you like the video, please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell button so that you can get the notification about my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.